The Fighters Corner. What's up, YouTube? How you doing? Hope you're blessed. Hope everything's going well for you, and I hope you are striving to be the best version of yourself. We are here at The Fighters Corner, where all fighters have a voice. Hey guys, I know it's near the end of the year, and you guys are having preparation for your Thanksgiving, for your Christmas, and all of that stuff. Just make sure you don't go broke. Also, just make sure it's about family. It's about family. It's about giving the Most High, all the praise of thinking us to be together and still standing here today. Try to make that to be what it's all about. That being said, we're here again at the Fighters Corner, and we're still finishing up the Legend series. My top 10 of Legends. I know a lot of people have their own top 10 Legends, which is great. This is my top 10. This has to do with time, era, trailblazers, changing of the sport. That's all. That all has to be considered when you're giving legends their flowers. So we have a man by the name of Captain Hook. Now, if I say Captain Hook, I hope you guys know what we're talking about. We're talking about no other than Roy Jones Jr. Yes, sir, Roy Jones Jr. Someone who was 5'11". I think he was around. I think he went up as far as 199 pounds. I know he went into a few divisions. This man has 66 wins, 47 knockouts, and he had 10 losses. Okay, still just a great record. A great record of the time he spent in the sport. So we're gonna pay our homage to Roy Jones and check out some of his highlights. If you like this type of content, please like and subscribe down below. Please share. This help my algorithm to get my channel up higher than what it is and get us spreading the word and the love to our greats out there. Right? I do have the Rising Star series. Please check that out and bench watch that. I would truly be thankful. All right, let's get started with Roy Jones Jr., aka Captain Hook.
Roy Jones Jr.
Are you ready? Boxing fans, are you ready? Presenting the undefeated super middleweight champion of the world, Roy Jones Jr.
This is what the crowd's been waiting for here, and there's quite a buzz going on. Round number one was scheduled for 12. That's Paziezer in a red shorts. He's a left-right combination.
A devastating puncher.
He's never tasted punches that hard before, I can assure you of that.
Who was equally elusive on defense.
To this day, you're the only person in CompuBox history to win a full round without having a single punch scored on.
I gotta tell you, in all the years I'm watching boxing and calling boxing, this is the fastest jab I have ever seen. That includes Muhammad Ali, it includes Sugar Ray Leonard, it includes Ray Robinson.
Nobody has ever gone a complete round without getting a punch scored on.
It was ridiculous.
You tell me he ain't the best pound for pound?
One of the things that makes him special, Ken, he did everything wrong, or a lot of things wrong. Like only one other fight I can think of. Muhammad Ali. He could drop his hands, pull back, but because of his speed, his power, his timing, his reflexes, because of that, he could make wrong right.
He's saying that they did a lot of things wrong. That's because they didn't box the traditional style. So therefore, he's going to say they did a lot of things wrong. But style, everyone has a different style. You can't say they did it wrong when you fought 66 times and you only lost 10 times out of that 66 times. So, there are some orthodox styles out of there, but I wouldn't go as far as say he did a lot of things wrong. That's just what's his style.
Jones grew up in Pensacola.
You started training at around age 10?
Yeah.
His father, a former boxer, was determined to raise a champion.
My father was different with that. I have gotten beaten 3 times in one day. I have marks on my arms now that are from beatings that I got when I was a kid.
But you don't hold the beatings against him? Like, why would you do that?
I don't hold the beatings because the beatings did teach me some things.
Roy, you won the Golden Glove in 1986 at 138 pounds. And then the next year you win at 156.
The South Korean Olympics were a stage for Roy to announce his arrival. He was the heavy favorite, and he did not disappoint.
And Roy Jones gets him again with a beautiful left hook. That is a cracker of a punch.
You go up through the ranks and you go to the 88 Olympics.
He ran through the competition, not losing a single round during the entirety of the Olympics.
Well, this is the finals for the gold medal. You had gone through all the other fighters, didn't even lose a round.
In the gold medal fight against a Korean fighter.
And again, finishing off with the left hook.
Roy outlanded his opponent 3-1.
Roy Jones building up a tremendous lead and should be 15 seconds away from the goal.
Roy Jones Jr. stepped into the ring and before all the world won an Olympic gold medal. Except, of course, that he didn't.
Well, he got the gold medal. Clear. And then you see the decision, your jaw drops.
And Roy Jones of Pensacola, Florida.
Well, if he doesn't win the gold off this, then I think there's something rotten in Korea, because that is absolutely one of the most dominant things I've
The
seen.
winner is on point 3-2 in the blue corner.
Well, there it is. Park Si-han has stolen the belt.
That was terrible. That was one of the worst Olympic decisions I've ever seen in my life. Maybe the worst.
All three judges would receive lifetime bans from the sport. Roy was never given justice for his lost gold. Not even all these years later.
Nobody to this day has come back and tried to fix it.
In one of the great robberies, injustices, or farces in sports history, Jones was denied the medal in what was later revealed to be a fix.
In one way, it made people really root for you.
It was a blessing in disguise.
The controversy turned Roy into a sympathetic hero for boxing fans. As a result, he was a star before he fought his first professional match.
From the atrocity.
Chat, I remember that. I watched that whole Olympics, and when I say he destroyed that division, he destroyed that division. It was, I mean, that was the time Roy Jones, fun fact, that he was going to quit boxing. He was not going to come back to boxing. He felt so betrayed, cheated. And what is so funny, I think it was not until recently, 2025, was when that boxer from Korea, I guess living underneath all of that time, knowing that he did not win, he contacted Roy Jones and gave him that gold medal. Facts. Look that up. You know, it was kind of a great iconic moment in the sport of, you know, this man wanted to close that chapter. Yeah, you beat me. They gave me the gold medal that you won. So yeah.
Of 1988, when in Seoul, South Korea, the brilliant Roy Jones fought his way to an apparent gold medal, but left without one.
Roy Jones Jr. was, to me, the most dominant fighter I ever saw.
Jones has extremely fast reflexes. He just has a sense of where to throw punches.
Yes, it is all over. Randy Newman stopping the bout, and the final minute.
Of 2 wins, no defeats, both wins by knockout. Here is Roy Jones Jr.
He spent the first few years of his career fighting at least once a month to build his experience.
Roy Jones modestly was quoted as saying he's a combination of Foreman's punch, Ali's speed, Robinson's skill, and Hagler's toughness.
Roy Jones has stopped one.
To me, what was great about Roy Jones is that he just perfected speed and timing. You know, he mastered the gazelle punch. He mastered his looping uppercuts. He reminded me, like, he just has a lot of the style of just a few people that I can think of Pernell Whitaker, Sugar Ray Leonard. He just was fast, confident, and he handled his business.
Did boxing at that point in time seem easy to you?
Boxing was easy to me.
There was a time in your career when you were at your peak that was so different than anyone else's. Very few jabs you would throw, a lead hook.
His matches quickly became events in Pensacola. A series of spectacular knockouts made Jones one of the sport's biggest stars.
Good night.
I hit it so fast that the hook took it here, and before he get back, the right took it here too. Impossible almost.
Drawing huge crowds and rabid fans.
Roy Jones Jr. was universally considered the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world.
Okay, now let's go to the biggest punch you ever delivered. Who was it?
We've got an Art Sawano. It's in Reno, Nevada.
Oh, boy.
Very first round.
Boom!
There it is.
Holy
That will finish it. Forget about it.
Yeah, look at that.
Oh, my God.
He had a seizure. See me?
Oh, my.
And I'll tell you what, for Art Serrano, that was a devastating right hand to get hit with.
Celebrities were turning up at every Jones fight, like Gene Hackman.
I produce feature motion pictures, no TV.
And Bill Cosby.
Well, this is awkward.
15-0 with 15 knockouts. He basically disappeared from public view, but he said he now wants to make his move.
Roy's physical gifts were unlike any other.
He's quick enough to go there without even taking the jab.
I never thought I would ever hear you say of a fighter that he doesn't need a jab.
All the while, his relationship with his father was eroding.
When you're a kid and a grown-up is beating you that bad, of course you're afraid. But once you get a certain age, you say, okay, now it's time to fight back. And then when I got to that age, it's like, okay, that's enough. No, I ain't taking too much.
He threw about 4 left hooks in less than a second there, George.
Oh, what a left hook inside by
Jones landed a sniper shot to the body.
Glenn Wilkes had a concrete jaw. Now it turns out he had a glass stomach. Or a glass liver.
People look at your fight and they talk about it. They're like, what he did, probably no other boxer can do because it was so unorthodox.
Jones quickly cleaned out the division's top challengers.
So referee Tony Orlando calls a halt.
The time had come for Roy to contend for the IBF middleweight title. He'd face off against the executioner, Bernard Hopkins.
Roy Jones Jr. as he guns for his first world championship against Bernard Hopkins for the vacant IBF middleweight crown. And there is the executioner symbol that accompanies Bernard Hopkins. And here is the man many regard as the middleweight of the 90s, Roy Jones Jr.
Again, the answer is like lightning.
Or does Hopkins have it to risk?
Bernard Hopkins tried, but he never was in the fight offensively, in my opinion.
Bernard Hopkins is arguably the greatest middleweight, and you carried him.
Right cross lands solid.
Jones won a unanimous decision.
Hey, Jones Jr.
He was now a world champion. Jones returned home to tremendous fanfare. He donated time and money to the Pensacola community.
Round 2 underway.
And interestingly, only 18 of Jones' 96 punches in round.
Going down
it.
I think what makes Roy so different is that he has an elusive speed where he doesn't show a lot of where he's going to throw from. So if he has his hands down or he has a position, you can best believe if he's like this, he's going to blitz and then throw. He has reach. I mean, he has good long reach, and people underestimate that one step. That one step is what sets it off, because once you get that one step, you take away the ability sometimes to respond or for you to get out of the way. By that time, the reason why he's not punching traditionally is because he can punch. He punches. He uses both hands to punch everywhere. Everywhere. The traditional style is orthodox or southpaw. You know, you come in here. He wants to box freely, where them punches can just come from low pitch. It come from a captain hook. I mean, you just have to give him props with style. It's different.
Jones Jr. puts back on that IBF middleweight championship belt. His first title defense was awesome.
Straight left hand was spectacular.
3, 4. He beat a lot of damn good fighters. They couldn't compete. That's all it was. You fought world champions.
Roy would stack on 8 pounds to challenge James Toney, an undefeated champion and slight betting favorite.
Rarely in the sport of...
Shout out to James Toney. He was a menace in his day. James Toney. You got to look up some of his highlights. He was a monster. But, you know, Roy Jones did kind of bounce between middleweight. Then he moved up to go to heavyweight.
Boxing do 2 undefeated champions, 2 superb athletes, 2 warriors in the prime of their careers come together to face one another for the championship of the world.
One of the marks of what a great fight this is that so many people in the sport don't seem to have a real handle, Gil's one of them, on exactly what is going to happen once that first bell sounds.
I remember when you fought James Toney, and that was a big fight because James Toney was in his prime and you were in your prime.
Many pundits still wondered if Roy Jones was for real.
We don't know up to this second whether he's a superstar or a fraud. We do know about James Toney. He's a bull.
Well, Jones was so OP up until this moment that they couldn't believe their own eyes.
The designation there, former IBF middleweight champion. He gave up that championship, Larry, for the right to come up 8 pounds and challenge for James Toney's super middleweight title.
So many people, the boxing aficionados, if you will, split down the middle almost in terms of who will win this fight because Roy Jones is such an unknown commodity.
He got it up there, though. Physical and mental.
The left hook got behind the guard.
I mean, he makes Toney miss, and he's so quick countering. Get out the road, get out.
Showboating by Jones. He tempts fate, I think.
And again, you caught him with that leaping left hook, man, that crazy left hook, and dropped him.
Left hook, and down goes Toney.
The punching stats told a tale of complete domination by Jones.
Against a man regarded by many as the most skilled champion in the sport. Another left hook by Jones.
James Toney was a if I'm not mistaken, a 2-division champ, and you carried him.
Lightning fast reflexes allowed him to avoid incoming jabs with head movement.
Roy Jones has been every bit as dominant as he was that day in Korea so long ago.
Winner by unanimous decision and new super middleweight champion of the world, Roy Jones Jr.
He was now the super middleweight champion of the world.
You beat him unanimously, 12 rounds. I mean, you just basically carried the whole fight.
When you beat James Toney like that, I think a lot of people had to go, whoa, like he can do this to an elite, top of the food chain world champion.
Now, it's got to be difficult to focus on this fight in the same manner in which you focused on James Toney and made Toney look absolutely pathetic in winning by decision.
Big right hand by Roy Jones. Another right hand by Roy Jones. And down goes Bird. Down goes
bird. Knocked him out in 1 round.
Roy Jones's talent is so overwhelming that he's already being compared to some of the greatest names in the history of the sport. Muhammad Ali, the 2 Sugar Rays, various others.
Roy Jones had become an icon in Florida, frequently foregoing bigger paydays in Vegas. Roy chose to fight many of his fights in front of his hometown, and the fans loved him for it.
The best fighter in the world today. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the undefeated super middleweight champion of the world, Roy Jones Jr.
I remember when your fights were basically executions. There was some years, man, where you would just like see how is this guy going to survive and how long.
What was nasty about that leaping hook or that gazelle jab that he would throw is you don't expect it. You don't think he's going to tune in on you that quick. Then when he gets there, he's twisting, throwing that nice solid power, man. It's just, oh man, it's just something nice to see.
Incredible hand speed, foot speed. I think his power is very deceptive and not really appreciated. He's very explosive, especially inside. The left hook that he was able to knock out Tate with was just incredible. I think he's a guy who's getting stronger and better.
He made quick work of undefeated Bryant Bannon.
In his fights, Jim, he's one of the best finishers I've ever seen in boxing. He's a real mean guy in there. You want to ask again who's the best fighter in the world?
No, I don't have to ask that.
When he was a middleweight and a light heavyweight, he was pretty damn special.
Jones faced off with undefeated Montel Griffin.
He is undefeated in 26 professional bouts. Montel Ice Griffin. He is rated by the Bible of Boxing, Ring Magazine, as the world's best pound-for-pound fighter, Roy Jones Jr.
Jones made Griffin look average.
And Griffin is hurt. Question about it. Griffin is hurt.
Jones looking to finish. Griffin wobbling a little bit.
Then, when he dropped him in the ninth,
And Jones lands 2 punches after Griffin's knee was on the canvas.
the late hits would cause Jones to be disqualified.
That was a foul. It was a definite foul.
Harold Letterman, what's the rule?
Jim, in my mind, there is absolutely no question that Tony Perez had just cause to disqualify Roy Jones Jr.
Disqualifies the red corner, the winner and new WBC light heavyweight champion of the world, Montel Ice Griffin.
That was a bad day. I saw that too, chat. That was a bad day because once a fighter drops that knee and he has one hand down, you cannot hit him. And sometimes in the moment of, I mean, he already outboxed him. Roy Jones beat him, right? But sometimes in the moment of you throwing shots, you know, that was just a bad mistake. You can seriously hurt somebody in that. But wait, there's more.
Suffered the first defeat of his career by way of DQ.
I honestly believe he faked it. Now you watch Montel Griffin after he got hit with that hook. He looked up at Perez and then went down on his face.
I don't care what it takes, just get him on the other side of the ring so I can prove to the world that he cannot beat me.
Everybody, get on your feet, right now, Roy Jones Jr. Y'all must have forgot.
Jones wasn't looking to just win. He wanted to destroy Griffin. Thunderdome style. There could be no doubt about who ran Bartertown.
Who ran Bartertown?
Master Blaster runs Bartertown.
It happens here, and it finishes here. 2 men enter, 1 man leaves.
2 men enter, 1 man leaves. Jones was ready to wash the result of the first fight away. It took just 1 round.
Let me tell you, that first left hook hurt Griffin.
And so does the second one. Oh, Nick has the toe. And McCanty calls it a knockdown.
It's very apparent that Jones is coming out stronger this time.
Jones is looking for a first-round knockout. He's not trying to set anything up with the jab. Jones gets his vindication via a first-round knockout.
And it was a left uppercut.
Unbelievably quick left-hand shot.
Now, 4-time world champion, and once again the WBC heavyweight champion of the world, Roy Jones Jr.
At last, the long-awaited battle with Virgil Hill would take place.
Roy Jones and Virgil Hill have been talked about as a likely light heavyweight matchup for 3 years or more, as the 2 best-known American light heavyweights get together face-to-face finally to see which one is the best.
Roy doing his rap number.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Hill had defended his title 11 times and was seen by some pundits as the true pound-for-pound king.
I saw you knock a guy out with a rib shot, and I said that to you a second ago, and you said Virgil Hill.
Right to the body, down.
Unheard of. Unheard of.
And Steinweiser.
You know, Chad, I always tell people in my classes of me teaching boxing and kickboxing, body shots are deadly. So many people like to just headhunt all the time, just think they're going to get a headshot. Sometimes the key to victory is the body, especially if they don't, if they're not breathing correctly and they're throwing punches and not tightening, when you're throwing, releasing energy. Yeah, you can catch them off guard so fast. And that's a great technical knockout. That's a TKO.
First time Virgil Hill's ever been knocked out. Roy Jones did it with a right hand to the body.
I've seen it all.
Not many guys knock guys out with body shots. I do, but not many do.
Here we go again. And you don't even think it hurts when you punch with that kind of power. It happens so quickly. It takes a moment before your legs tell you, hey, you're down.
And Johnson goes straight on to the seat of his pants.
So fast, he'd fight with his hands down. He was knocking people out cold.
Roy Jones may be a member of the NRA, the way he's using Hall, the target practice here.
And Hall is wobbling. Legs wobbling under Richard Hall as Jones sizes him up. Now he puts power behind the right hand.
I mean, when you look back at your career, not only were you winning fights, you were dominating.
RJ hammers Hall with a straight right. Then he casually walks around behind Hall and follows up with a blistering left hook.
It's been a sensational performance or exhibition by Roy Jones.
That was disheartening.
No, we
had forgot. You can't say y'all must have forgot. We both got you number one pound for pound.
At this stage of his career, Roy Jones was untouchable.
Putting his hands behind his back and knocking dudes out.
I was chicken fighting. My Wayne was behind my back. I was
Chicken fighting.
I was the gang Mooster then. That's that chicken fighting.
You know that's the country boy when he's talking about chicken fighting. He's talking about chicken fighting. But no, he just was so confident in his speed. And he reads well. He has a very high IQ. He knows if you try to lunge and try to take the bait, he's going to shift to his right or left and then just hammer you either with the captain hook or the straight cross. That's it.
He never saw it.
He obliterated one top opponent after the next. Tired of smashing all comers, RJ bulked up 25 pounds to compete for the heavyweight championship.
We get tired of seeing me beat up on people my size. It just start feeling unfair.
So now he's going to fight as a heavyweight.
You fought Ruiz. I think you weighed, what, 193, 195?
I say it again, he was a middleweight light heavyweight when he was at his best.
The Ring Magazine experts poll, 10 for Jones, 9 for Ruiz. Of the 9 who picked Ruiz, 5 or 6 of them don't think Jones has a prayer in the world of winning the fight. I've never seen that before.
Winning the heavyweight title would be a feat no other fighter who started at light middleweight had ever accomplished.
So, do you think that was the beginning of Roy starting to not be Roy Jones because he went up to 195?
Let's get ready to rumble!
Look, I saw Roy Jones in his prime. Roy Jones better than Floyd in his prime.
Jones striking like lightning across the top of the right hand.
And you were the most dominant fighter I ever saw.
Roy Jones scarcely ever loses a round, much less a fight.
I gotta tell you something, Jim. He's making his fight look so easy. I don't know. Standing in the middle of the ring, getting off first constantly. Now he's landing combinations.
He was so fast. I mean, John Ruiz just was whiffing at air in that fight.
And he dominated the fight.
Joining boxing's elite, the new WBA heavyweight champion of the world, Roy Jones Jr.
The win was one for the ages. Now Jones would shed 25 pounds and return to light heavyweight.
It was very important to me that I went back down, shred the weight back off, and recapture the light heavyweight title.
Next Saturday night, Roy Jones and Antonio Tarver match up after having gone up almost to 200 pounds to fight on March 1 to get back down to fighting weight of 175.
What really got Roy's when we went up to fight John Ruiz.
Yeah.
And then he went back down to fight Tarver.
Yeah.
He was depleted.
And I had to cut the muscles. That's when it began. That's when the demise began. Because I cut muscle. I cut 25 pounds of muscle off.
Has there been enough time since the weigh-in for you to rehydrate and regain your strength after taking off so much weight?
I swear, nobody likes Larry Merchant. He's one of those slick mouth, always saying something smart, don't give you credit for your abilities. I couldn't stand that guy. Let me know in the chat if you guys know what I'm talking about.
The weight cut down to 175 must have been brutal. He lost all his muscle tone.
Yeah.
He just didn't. He looked like a guy.
And he was shredded in the 90s.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Round one begins.
The weight jumps and drops had robbed him of his superpowers,
Now Tarver lands his first left hand of the fight.
making him a mere mortal.
And now Tarver lands another left.
This is giving Jones some trouble.
Look at Tarver banging away with the left hand and landing them again.
Punches that would never connect before now landed flush.
He could do this for 25.
So you don't think he's using up his energy
Not
here?
at all. Straight right hand lands for Jones.
Still, he summoned up enough of what greatness remained inside of him.
And there's a huge right hand. And that punch hurt Tarver. Okay, Jim. 87-84. 6 rounds to 3. Roy Jones Jr. Performance now by Jones. Reaching deep. Trying to find the greatness.
Boom, perfect timing.
And he needs to hold off Antonio Tarver. Now the combinations begin to flow.
For the winner by majority decision, Roy Jones Jr.
He now recaptured his middleweight belts. Unrivaled.
I think he should have retired after that.
This is when Roy Jones Jr. retired for me.
Yeah. And I always say, yeah, that first fight, he was on point. I don't know what they were talking about. Yes, he dropped down weight to get back in light heavyweight, but he was still shredded, still had his speed. I just think that fighting a different style like Antonio Tarver, who's a good counter fighter, and he's got that dog in him. He just wasn't expecting him to bring it like that. That just changes the fight entirely. But he pulled it off.
But I don't think he would have. I don't think Roy was ever really going to ride off in the sunset.
Roy would butt heads with Tarver again in an immediate rematch.
Here comes Jones.
After the Tarver fight, do you believe you should have stopped then and said, you know what, this is a wrap? I've gotten belts. I had 7 belts at one time. I went from junior middleweight all the way up to heavyweight, and I cleaned out every division. I'm good. Did you think about it and say, you know what, I'm good, I'm done?
The problem, Roy has not found a way still to get a sustained attack against him.
When you are a guy that depends on reflexes and timing and speed, what happens is when that goes, there's nothing to back you up. There's no net to catch you, baby.
And the invincible Roy Jones Jr. was defeated.
When the athleticism starts to slip away a little bit, Roy is normal.
Roy is out. And Roy may be out of boxing.
Roy was technically awful. He just had such reflexes.
Yeah.
When they went, that's when he got melted.
He didn't jab.
No, he didn't do anything right,
a
bro.
left hook, a lead left hook.
A lead left hook with rights from weird angles.
Yeah.
And it worked because his reflexes were superhuman.
Yeah.
He was Superman.
Roy immediately took another title fight against Glenn Johnson.
That's the point. He's not getting treated with the kind of respect that he has commanded throughout his career.
Also, the Glenn Johnson fight was a scary knockout.
Yeah, he was on Queer Street.
Yeah, well, he was just flatlined and astral traveling.
And he's on the canvas again for the second time in 2 fights. And for the second time in 2 fights, he's not going to get up, and he's been knocked out again.
Will we ever see Roy Jones in the ring again?
Not the one we are used to seeing.
It was sad to watch.
It was. It was.
That was. I thought that was going to be the end.
Roy still didn't retire. In fact, he would fight for 15 more years. He'd win some and lose some. But in his prime, he was arguably the best to ever do it.
You were fighter of the decade. But over a 10-year span, Roy Jones Jr. was voted the best fighter of the decade of the night.
Y'all must have forgot.
Unfairly, his refusal to retire and keep fighting is held against him in rankings. Roy Jones Jr.
Nobody brings it home like Joe Vincent. Nobody.
Make it so.
All right, chat. Hope you enjoyed that as much as I did to see one of our legends, Roy Jones Jr., who was, to me, still a juggernaut. He changed the sport. He added another element of being not so much as a traditional boxer. Yes, he was unorthodox, but his speed, athleticism, ring smarts, distance, It catered to his style. You know, it worked for him. And he became a champion, world champion, multiple times. So, you know, when people say, yeah, he didn't fight the traditional way, yeah. I mean, back in the days when Muhammad Ali was boxing, they said the same thing. When Joe Louis was fighting, he said the same thing because they were different. They were different. So it pays to be different, chat. Don't be afraid to be different. Be yourself, all right? Fix the mistakes, make it cater to your style, and run with it. That's what I have today at the Fighters Corner, where all fighters have a voice. Stay tuned, stay blessed, and I see you guys again. Your boy's out. See ya.